and Jewel Asco, celebrating 115 years of serving Marionette Park and metropolitan Chicago. It's now time for the Sowers Ford Tip-Off, presented by Sowers Ford of Michigan City, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Yes, indeed, it is the Sowers Ford Tip-Off Show, presented by Sowers Ford, the official motor vehicle company of the Arena Sports Network, and then Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. Visit them online at SowersAuto.com. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brian Snow, and I'm riding shotgun this evening with Alvin Washington, who will help call tonight's game here with the Paul Simmons Center on the campus of Marist High School. And Ben, 2 years ago, this Marist Red Hawk team got all the way to the sectional finals where they ran into Jabari Parker. And rumblings around here say this may be another special season for these kids.
This is definitely the house that midnight forgot. Just putting it mildly, folks. But, you know, having seen a little bit of the Marist team this year through some of the outlets, this is another squad that could make a good, strong run downstate. But first, of course, they got to get out of the city.
Right.
And you know, the East Suburban Catholic Conference. Don't sleep on it. There are some good teams in that conference.
Yes,
among them, the always tough St. Joseph Chargers.
And also the St. Louis Vikings are going to give the Marist Red Hawks a test this Friday, you know, at the Lawrence Center. And I'll tell you what, man, there is some tough competition here in the city between the Chicago Catholic League and the East Suburban Catholic Conference. There's always some tough competition here.
Always. And you know, I would be remiss if I didn't give each of those conferences their props, because there have been some very strong games down the stretch, especially now with the Chicago Catholic League putting a tournament together later at the end of the year, right before we go in the state tournament. So
that might be something we have to take a look at.
You know, everybody is gunning for everybody. I mean, now this is a rather small squad that Gene Nolan has put together, because the tallest person on this team this year is 6'3" junior Kyle Reynolds. Outside of him, Shamar Hawkins at 6'2". Everybody else is 6 foot and under. That doesn't mean you can't make a strong run downstate.
Well, the tallest person 2 years ago they had was Nick Wisher, of course, who's now at Notre Dame playing tight end, and he was 6'6". Everybody under him was 6'3" and below, and they still got as far as the sectional semifinals. And having a chance to talk to Gene Nolan, he said, we're still trying to figure out what we need to do, and we know we're going to be undersized most of the year, but it's good that the kids want to work hard to figure out where they need to do it. Tonight, they're key against, you know, sheer numbers along with Johnson Prep. But you would expect Marist to turn on the speed in this kind of game, being outsized and outnumbered. But you know Marist as well as I do. We've covered them for some 12 years off and on. They are one of the teams in the city that will outwork anybody, no matter what kind of deficit they're facing.
You know, that's actually a hallmark. If you really think about it, it is a hallmark. It is a trademark of almost every Catholic basketball program in the city. They may not be the biggest club in the joint, but they are the hardest working, most fundamentally sound club in the joint. Brother Rice's the long-time runs with Coach Pat Richardson. A lot of those, the one thing that you could say about them is that they love taking charges, because Coach Richardson always thought that taking a charge was the difference between them gaining the two and you gaining the two back.
And we've done a lot of Brother Rice Marist games over the years. I'll tell you what, man. Marist is 4-0 coming into tonight, sweeping through the Shepherd tournament during Thanksgiving. That 4-0 is 4-0. And you take that into tonight's game against Johnson Prep, and then Friday against St. Lawrence, and then later on in this tournament as well. A lot can happen with this Marist team all the way through the season.
Well, we'll see in just a moment. We'll take a break and give you the starting lineups and get this bad boy going. It is the Marist Red Hawks and the Johnson Prep Pumas next. Marist Red Hawk basketball on ASN.
And ASN Plus.
At U.S. Tire and Automotive, you'll find passenger tires, performance tires, truck and SUV tires, and more from proven brands including Bridgestone, Firestone, and other leading industry names. Conveniently located in Gary, Indiana, and providing great service to customers in Gary, Griffith, Hammond, Munster, and Highland, Indiana, U.S. Tire and Automotive offers brake service, alignments, oil changes, shocks and struts, tune-ups, and other valuable services to get your car, truck, minivan, or SUV back on the road. Give us a call at 219-884-4600 or drop us an email at info@ustire-auto.com. Mention this ad and receive a 10% discount on auto work or ask about our tire specials. U.S. Tire and Auto, servicing Gary, Indiana and Northwest Indiana since 1991.
Harsh weather approaching, now is the time for electrical contractors to stock up on supplies for that unsuspecting winter storm. Northwest Indiana's pros have depended on Pesco for 50 years. Pesco, Portage Electric Supply Corporation, has a full line of supplies for the most demanding of jobs. With friendly service that comes with being a woman-owned distributor, it's nice to know you can get the right tools at the right price without the grinding hard sell. For electrical parts to get the job done, go where the pros go. Pesco on Milton Road in Portage. Back here on ASN and ASN Plus, Marist Redhawks basketball, the name of the game, presented by Sowers Ford. The Marist Redhawks get set to take on the Johnson Prep Pumas. Both teams are undefeated. Johnson Prep is 1-0 on the year, while Marist is 4-0, having swept the District 2 A-team tournament over at Shepherd High School. Now our national anthem.
Ready? Are you ready?
Yep.
These are the Demon Dogs starting lineups. Here's Randy Cohen, the public address.
Great pleasure. Introducing starting guard, the sophomore, number 21, Kaden Morris. Starting another guard, junior, number 3, Glenn Bennett. Starting at forward for the Pumas, the junior, number 23, Barashik Mitchell. Starting at the other forward, the senior, number 5, Jamal Gary. And starting at center for the Pumas, the senior, number 13, Christian Johnson. The head coach of the Pumas is Cedric Comfort, his assistant, Enos Bynum. And now, for your mighty Marist Redhawks. Gives me great pleasure to introduce the starting guard, a senior at Crone Middle School, number 5, Jeremiah Ferguson. Starting at another guard, a senior at St. Linus, number 12, Brian Perry. Starting at another guard, a senior at St. Lawrence O'Toole, number 25, Bradley Hill. Starting at forward for your Redhawks, a junior at St. Philip Neri, number 13, Jamar Hawkins. And starting at the other forward, a junior at Mid Rivers, number 22, Kevin Lerma. The head coach of Glenn Basic and Brian Hines. Sophomore coaches Rod Tops, PJ Murphy, and freshman coaches Dan Higgins and Pat Hogan.
And
okay, I think we can go now.
And just a quick rundown of your Demon Dogs starting lineup. We'll start with Cedric Hunter's Johnson Prep Pumas, 1-0 in the year. Bereshit Mitchell starts it off along with Kanan Morris. Christian Johnson in the middle with Jamal Gary and Glenn Bennett on the guard line. For the Marist Redhawks under longtime coach Gene Nolan, you've got Jeremiah Ferguson, Brian Berry, Shamar Hawkins, Kevin Lerma, and Bradley Hill. A rather small lineup to start our broadcast here. A three-man officiating crew certified by the Illinois High School Association, set to go here.
And speaking of our opening tip, the opening tip and the first quarter brought to you by Demon Dogs of Alsip. Here's Alvin Washington on the call.
Redhawks in white with red, Pumas in blue with white. Redhawks get the ball to start the action right here.
Oops.
Top of the key, this is number 12, that being Barry. We have a
offensive foul.
Nope, ball out of bounds. So a turnover. We'll give the ball back, and a shot in the middle, not there for on one side. The baseline is good for Glenn Bennett.
Good job by Bennett.
2-0 in favor of the Pumas as the Redhawks try to get it down line with the basketball. 25. This is Bradley Hill. Bill cannot drive the baseline on the right side. He'll go to the left side and get fouled.
It's one thing Gene Nolan talked about, hitting the rebounds. Even though they're a small team, they love crashing the boards.
A foul here is charged to Christian Johnson. First personal on him, and it will be Bradley Hill, the 6-foot senior, at the line to shoot two. Hill, the southpaw. The first one up is good. And that puts Marist on the board, down 2-1 with 7:22 here in the opening quarter. Late arriving crowd, battling the elements and whatnot.
Yeah.
Back end for Hill is good, and that makes it 2-2. Pumas of Johnson Prep. Just off of 63rd and Stewart, one of the Noble Street Network charter schools that's been in existence for a few years. Bringing the ball down the court is Kanan Morris. On the left wing, this is Glenn Bennett. Bennett to Morris on the right wing. Morris starts his drive, gets it over on the right baseline. A floater up, not there, well off the mark. Rebounded Gary, and they'll reload the offense. Top of the key, straight on three, not there either. Hot potato rebound, it'll come down to the hands of Johnson.
Second chances.
Right side wing shot won't fall that time for Gary. Quickly down the court, this is Hill on the baseline. Hill drive.
Offensive foul, good call.
Defender got there just in time, too.
That's a good call.
So still 2-2. Both teams with a team foul on that first foul by Bradley Hill of Marist.
We're still seeing Marist attempt to find their identity as we go along here.
6:44 for the opening quarter. Driving the ball is Kanan Morris.
Carried it, double dribble.
Illegal dribble is the call, and they'll inbound on the far side three-quarter court. Redhawks to your right in the white with red. With the basketball is Jeremiah Ferguson, also another senior. A good mix of seniors and juniors this year for Gene Nolan's Redhawks. A whip inside.
Nice pass!
Good pass to Shamar Hawkins. Give the assist to Kevin Lerma, and that's 4-2 Marist. Morris back the other way. Morris gets the basketball. Hill with the steal. Hill got it taken away by Gary. Gary bounced it over by his bench, and it'll be Redhawks ball in front of the Pumas bench to our right.
Great defense on both by both teams.
Brian Berry will inbound right side quarter court with 6:15 for the opening quarter. 4-2 in favor of the Marist Redhawks. First of 7 nights of great basketball here. 2 teams in a 6-team bracket will each get a bye. This is the only night this week that they'll have the invite, and then they'll go strong the next couple of weeks, beginning on December 8th.
Beginning Monday.
On the right baseline, here comes 3 from Jeremiah Ferguson. Count it! 7-2 as Ferguson bangs one from way downtown for his first points of the year here at the Shannon Center.